Right, good morning everybody. If possible, if you can just comment in the chat that you can hear me okay, if everyone can hear me. Just want to make sure that I'm not talking to myself. There we go. Perfect. So thank you very much for taking the time to join our session this morning. I know that traditionally it's not a great time of year to engage in new business ventures. However, I think 2020 has been anything but a normal year. So I think we can all relate to that. And I'm very excited to be able to introduce Palladium to you guys this morning. My name is Donovan Visser. I'm the sales manager for Palladium, and I'm currently joined with Adam and Tasman, and you'll meet them all a little bit later. I'm going to try and run through the death by PowerPoint a little bit quicker this morning so we can get down to the good stuff. We're going to be having some live demonstrations on some of our software to show you how it can effectively fit in with your customers. And then we'll have some time for questions at the end. Perfect. I think at any time, if you have any questions, just feel free to type them in the chat and whoever's around will answer them for you. No problem. Right, so just in starting, just want to run through the agenda quickly. So we're going to run through why Palladium would be a good choice for yourselves and your customers. We'll give you a little bit of an overview and a live demonstration on not only the accounting software, but our mobile applications, the e-commerce side with Magento integration. We've got Candice who will run through our cloud-based payroll system. Then we'll discuss the Palladium Opportunity as well as our Ecumenica referral program. And then we'll just finish off with some questions. So I think just from a Palladium accounting point of view, we've always been very focused on developing software that meets our clients' requirements and enables their business to really move forward, which is where we differ a lot from traditional accounting. So accounting is not just about balancing the books anymore. We really focus on developing features and functionality that are very business focused and they suit business requirements. And I think one of the sayings that we always use is we're making common sense features more common because there are sometimes very simple features that are overlooked that are very big enablers for businesses. So when we take the Palladium accounting products into account, we're looking at creating something that enables businesses throughout the spectrum to be able to function efficiently. We don't just develop features for the sake of developing features. They're always very, very customer focused. So 90% of the time, we develop a new feature or new functionality that is a request from one of our existing customers. So the software itself is really growing as our clients grow. And one of the great advantages of that is that once that feature is released, every single one of our clients on that edition of Palladium would have access to that feature as a standard as well, which really sets us apart. Okay, and we'll go into our software model a little bit later and how we compare to some of our competitors. So when I talk about development, we've always developed our software based on our core values, which are increasing turnover, improving margins, and enhancing operational efficiency. And those aren't just some buzzwords that we're using to make us sound good. We feel really strongly that we've developed features that talk to those core values. So when we talk about increasing turnover, we've added features that give the users the ability to do upselling, which suggest related items to them. You know, so Adam will go into a little bit more detail on some of these features and show you how they work. But just as an example, you know, if somebody's processing an order with a laptop, as an example, realistically speaking, you would sell a laptop with a laptop bag and perhaps a mouse or whatever it may be, which sounds like a really simple thing, but it's very often overlooked. And we've incorporated features which would recommend these items based on predefined rules. When we talk about improving margins, we've incorporated purchase order approvals. We've got approvals required for certain discounts within certain thresholds. So it's really about making sure that we're maximizing the sales potential, while being very careful not to undersell or sell things for lower than a certain margin. So a simple example of that would be if you are selling an item and your standard margin is 30%, if you had to sell it for 20%, it would either warn you and or block you from proceeding with that purchase. So we're very much focused on making sure that those margins are correct. When we talk about enhancing operational efficiency, obviously from an infrastructure point of view, there's no longer a requirement for costly on-site servers and network infrastructure. You have the ability to host your data remotely, which is one of our big advantages in terms of cost savings. And then a couple of the other little features, and again, Adam will go through these in a little bit more detail for you in the demo. And the idea behind the demonstration is to show you that it's not just sales talk, and we're not just trying to convince you that, we can do these things. We want to show you that they are definitely doable, and why we are the fastest growing accounting software company. So just to give you a little bit of an overview and why we have an extensive reseller or partner network throughout Africa, is that on the software side, we do not sell a base product. We're not a modular software company. So we don't sell a base product and then tie in different modules dependent on what your requirements are. We sell editions. So currently we have 3 editions, which would be Palladium Business, Palladium Enterprise, and Palladium Premium. And each edition of our software contains a specific set of features which would be included as a standard. Whether or not they're used initially or not, they are part of that set edition. Okay. In terms of cost, that also brings the end user's cost down. So you're able to offer your clients a lot more cost-effective solution, and that ties in very much with our development strategy. We're a South African-owned company. We're 50% owned by Rectron, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of Mustek. We have just over 10 in-house developers, so we are able to develop software a lot faster than any of our competitors. And I think the analogy we commonly use is that we've probably released more features in the past year than some of our competitors have released in the past 5 to 10 years. So we release new versions almost bi-weekly, which could be bug fixes or additional features being added. And clients that are on support agreements with us would get those upgrades as a standard. In terms of technology, we are a Microsoft Gold certified partner. Our software is developed in the latest Microsoft technology, which is the .NET framework, and our database we use is a SQL database, which is the most up-to-date technology in terms of database management. We differ very much from our competitors, the likes of Pastel Partner as an example, in the sense that we've evolved to make sure that we are very strong technologically. We don't use outdated databases or outdated frameworks, so we guarantee no database corruptions in that sense. We've got built-in business intelligence, which allows the end user to do very, very comprehensive reporting. We also have the ability to integrate directly with Microsoft Power BI should you want to extend on those reports. Okay. In terms of data conversion, this is generally one of the biggest challenges or one of the biggest questions we face from customers is, but I'm going to have to start from scratch. And in reality, that's not the case. So we have currently developed a Pastel Partner conversion tool, which allows us to convert all master file and historical transactional history into Palladium directly. We are expecting the Sage Evolution conversion tool to be done within the next 3 to 4 weeks, which obviously opens up a lot of doors for us. In terms of other accounting packages, and I mean, that's not where we're going to stop. There are plans to create conversion tools for many other softwares, but the other softwares currently we can import all master file data as well as opening balances. So it's never really a case of having to start from scratch. We're always able to assist. In terms of training, we have a comprehensive online training platform. Okay, so we refer to it as Palladium University, where our clients and business partners are able to log into our training portal and receive comprehensive training on all our products. And Adam also hosts daily training sessions, which are feature or module specific, which is open again to both our clients and our business partners in order to increase their skill sets and their knowledge on our software. And both of these have no cost associated to them. So obviously from an implementation point of view, we are able to assist with on-site training, but from a staff development point of view, we have ongoing training sessions that are available to all our customers. And again, I touched on the development aspect. We've got a full team of developers, and the advantage of that is that things happen a lot faster than they would from a much larger corporate competitor of ours. We're able to develop features and functionality a lot faster. We're able to do it per customer, and again, the advantage of that is that it gets released to our entire base at the same time. I'm going to hand you over to Adam Curry for now. That's enough of my talking. He's going to run you through the demo of Palladium, followed by the mobile application, which is something that we're very, very excited about, and something that our customers have become very excited about as well. And then you'll be able to see the features and functionality.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Okay, so I'm just going to run you through some of the key features on Palladium Premium. I'm sort of going to follow what Donovan was referring to about our core values. So I'm going to base it around that. And then after the desktop version, I'm going to demo the mobile. So the 3 core values that Donovan briefly spoke about is enhancing operational efficiency, improving turnover, and increasing margins. So I'm going to start off with the operational efficiencies. So I'll just share my screen quickly. Okay, so one of our newer features, which is quite exciting and it's very useful, so I'm sure you guys get clients in the same sort of situation where they have multiple databases. And within those databases, some of them might share the same inventory files, the same pricing, the same customers, and there also might be a lot of intercompany transactions. So we've done some smart developments around that. So for instance, we've got something we call centralized master files. So like I was saying, if those items exist across the multiple databases, if you create a new stock code, you have to create them manually in each database. So what we've developed around that is we can create a relationship between our databases. So you'll see here, I'm in a database called Palladium Hardware JHV for Joburg, and I've got another one called Palladium Hardware Cape Town. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new stock code in my Joburg database. So I'm just going to copy an existing item. So I'm just going to call it a Palladium coffee mug. I'm just going to select OK. So you define the synchronization interval. So mine's set for 2 minutes. So in about the next few minutes, I'll come back to this and we'll just check if this item has been created in my other database. So another smart piece of development we've done is it's very simple but very useful is switching companies. So you might find again where clients have multiple databases, users have to work across them. So instead of logging out and going the tedious way about it, logging out, going into the new database, re-inputting the password, with just move this thing here, we can quickly switch databases. So provided the username is the same across the databases and the password, you can switch the database. So I'm going to quickly switch to Palladium Hardware Cape Town, and you'll see the database name will change here at the bottom. So you'll see that it's just switched out, and now I'm in my Cape Town database. So two related functionalities we've done for clients of many databases, also the ability to do a purchase order in one, which automatically generates a sales order in the other database. So I'm now in Palladium Hardware Cape Town. I'm going to order some stock from my Joburg database. Okay, so I've just got purchase order approval set up, so I just need to turn that off for this part of the demo. So over here, and we'll come back to this feature. It's also my list of things to demonstrate. So my supplier is my other database. So I'm not going into too much detail in terms of the setup. I've got everything set up. I just want to show you the end result for now. So I'm ordering from Palladium Hardware Joburg. I'm going to purchase this stock item. And then, so I record here. So I'm processing this PO. So instead of the user having to duplicate this work and then automatically then have to load the sales order in the other database, there's a button here that just says e-submit. So when I click on here, it says generating purchase order, and it says generating sales order. So now this is referencing the new sales order that has already been automatically created in the other database. So I'm just going to close here, go into Palladium Hardware Joburg, into accounts receivable. Let's have a look for the sales order. So I'm going to open all my previous transactions, copy and paste, and there's the sales order. So obviously in my case, I've used one line item, but you can imagine how useful this would be if you have multiple lines on that purchase order. Instead of having to duplicate that transaction, it's automatically synchronized across the databases. Okay, so I'm going to go back into my Cape Town database, and hopefully we see that Palladium coffee mug I just created. So I go into my inventory, and there it is. So it's synchronized across the database. And then lastly, in terms of the interrelated company functionality, whilst I'm in Cape Town, I can load a PO, select any item. So this tab here is an option for me to see what stock I have available in my other branches and my other locations. However, we also have the ability to see what stock's available is in my other databases. So this is just for viewing purposes. I can't do anything with the stock from the other databases, but I can see what stock's available. So we developed this for a retail client. So if a customer comes in and you don't have stock of that item, you can refer them to another store. That might be a different company on your side. Okay, and then some other really smart functionality is when you send out statements. It's a very popular one, and it's one of our wild features, I'd say. It's when I send out a customer statement, so this screen, everything's pretty standard, but when I come down to here, there's an option to email, and you can attach all outstanding invoices or all invoices that are outstanding. And there's also the option to attach PODs as well, which is a function I'll come to when I cover the mobile app. So the customer's not just receiving a statement, they're getting their invoice and they're getting their POD. So there's no real reason for the customer to come back and have any excuse and delay payment. They've got everything in that one go. Some other smart functionality, if I go to a sales document, at a glance, the sales rep or whoever's capturing the document can have a glance at what's outstanding on that customer account. So you can see This is what the balance is, what open orders there are, open quotations, and if they have a credit limit. And again, also it's quite flexible. If I click on here, it'll bring up all the outstanding invoices, and you can even send it to the customer from this screen and attach the PODs. And then all the reports in Palladium, you can drill down to the source documents. So if I double click on there, it'll open up that invoice. Our reporting is quite powerful as well. So each module comes with its standard reports. These ones can't be changed, but we do, if we go into my workspace up here, we have a business intelligence section. So I'm just running it for sales analysis. So here it's a bit like a pivot table. You can create and design your own reports, filter on all transactional data. So you'll just drag and drop things that you might want to add. So if I want to add customer categories to this report, it's added in there, it's all retail. And also what's nice about it is you don't have to build the report every time. You can just save it, give it a name, and you can also give specific users access to it as well. Just in line with that as well, we've got some nice dashboard functionality. So we use something called Dev Express that we've integrated into Palladium. I see a question come through. Well, I'll come to that towards the end, okay, regarding SQL Express. Basically, these dashboards can be fully customized. There's a lot of YouTube videos on Dev Express. So this is just our standard, but you can see here there's a dashboard designer and the ability to add new dashboards. Another popular feature is our ability to adjust documents. And what's most important about adjusting documents is the audit trail behind it. So here I've got a sales order, and just bear in mind this applies to all purchases and sales documents. So I'm adjusting the sales order. I'm going to change my quantity to 4. I'm going to add in another line item. I'm going to record this transaction. I'm going to adjust it again, and this time I'm going to delete this line. I'm going to change the price on this one. And I'm going to record. So now on this screen, you'll see this number 3 over here. So all that's doing is signifying there's been 3 versions of this sales order. And if I click on this ellipse, I think development call it, it opens up a report so you can see what changes were made. So it tells me when the changes were made, who made the change. The top one is my original document, and then it shows the changes thereafter. So yellow signifies something was altered, green was added, and red was deleted. So there's a full audit trail on adjusting documents. And bear in mind as well, we do have user rights on there as well. So some users can't adjust documents. Also, again, we have the ability to do credit requests that can be converted into credit notes. So we have an approval process on there. Okay, so those are the features I've listed for enhancing operational efficiency. I'm going to move on to the ones that are aimed on increasing turnover rather. So the first one is one that I think Donovan briefly mentioned. It's the ability for setting up, it's an upsell feature. So we call it related items. So if I just go into one of my inventory items, and you can see here we do have the ability to load images as well. So my tab here for related items. So basically what this is saying, when I sell this top item, the system's going to prompt me saying, does the customer also want to buy one of these? So let me go and do a sales transaction. And there you go. So when I record it, it's asking, should I ask the customer, do they also want to purchase one of these related items? So if I select OK, it adds it as a line item. Okay, and then we also have the ability to manage reorder levels. So again, back in the inventory master file, under the tab reorder, we're able to define minimum and maximum levels. And there's also an option for the system to calculate it based on a historical sales period. And we can also factor in such things here as safety factor percentage. So basically you can say, okay, what were our sales for last year, December? But you might want to put a little bit of a buffer on there for whatever reason, just in case sales increase, you want to make sure you have a little bit of a buffer. So you might put in a 10% buffer there. The lead time from the supplier, how many days worth of sales do you want to keep stock holding for? Economic order factor, maybe the supplier only sells you in multiples of 20s or something like that. And then you can also have a minimum order quantity from the supplier specified. And then our inventory forecasting module. This is where you'll specify the sales period that you want to look at, and it will calculate the new minimum level, take into account those factors that we inputted. Another thing we've got is the ability to control lost sales. So let's look at sales orders. The same applies to sales quotes. You'll see this. We have this option to remove. So remove might be the wrong word. Basically, it's just closing it. We don't remove any transactions from Palladium. So if I'm cancelling this back order, it gives me this warning saying your ID will be logged as part of this transaction. You want to continue. And then the user's forced to put in a reason code. So we've got two set up here. You can set as many as you want. So you can run a report to see why you're losing so many confirmed orders. What we've also added for our clients who have issues with loading their vehicles, they want to see the total weight of the vehicle, so total weight of the sales order, so they knew how much to load onto their vehicle. So you see here on the item master file, we have the ability to add in weights and dimensions. And these pull through to all of our sales transactional screens and deliveries. Okay, now I'm going to go on to increasing margins. A popular feature that we have on this side is, let's get out this screen, on my price list. Over here, so this is my price list screen, but on this tab here, set markup, there's an option to say markup on cost, and you want it to automatically update at time of stock receipts. So you can do this by category. One of the new features we're doing, you can actually set markup on cost by item. On the latest releases, by item category. So basically, if I buy an item that belongs to this default category of 10 rand, it's automatically going to make the selling price 11 rand. On the purchasing side, a nice feature we have is bulk requests for quotations. So you might have a particular item that you have multiple suppliers for. So instead of creating 5 or 10 different purchase requisitions, you can create it from the one screen. So basically I'm saying, okay, I need to order all of these, and I can add in my preferred suppliers. So when I record this transaction, it's going to email all 3 of them. And then when it comes to the time to pick and choose whichever one, for whatever reason, might be based on available stock or best pricing, then on this screen here, you'll select which supplier you're going with. And then it will convert this into a purchase order. There you go, see it's gone straight through. Purchase price tolerance. So we've got to get a warning message at the time of processing a purchase order or purchase invoice that you're paying a significant price more than the previous time. So for example, if I select this item here, down here it shows me my last purchase cost was 150. If I go and change this now, it gives me a flag saying you're exceeding your allowable tolerance. Would you like to continue? So it just notifies the user. And what's quite nice about it is they can then go back to the supplier and query why they're being charged more. Also on this screen, they can view the purchase history. So it'll show you all the previous transactions and previous pricing for this item. We've also got purchase order approvals. That was a setting I had to turn off at the beginning, so I'm just going to quickly activate it. Over here. And we can define approvers. So you can set up groups of approvers. So in my sales group, I've just got Anthony. I could add other users as well. In my marketing department, I've got Stephen. So if I go into the setup a little bit, you can add multiple. So basically, it would have to be approved by all of them. And when you go through the process, it will send an email notifying the user that they've got documents to approve. Another great feature and a popular one we've got is on our categories. We can specify minimum margin levels. So basically, this is my minimum margin, and at time of sale, do we want a warning or do we want someone to authorize the sale below this margin? So it's because a lot of clients might sometimes have issues where they're selling low cost without themselves realizing. So if that's just a concern, you can make this 0%. So it's a good protection. And then one of our other popular features is also ability for freehand quotations. So this is the last one I'm going to cover before I go onto the mobile. So you'll see these two icons here. I've got sales quotes and freehand quotes. So to the end customer, they won't know the difference. In terms of functionality, there is quite a big difference for your users. So a standard sales quote, the customer has to exist on the database. The item needs to exist. Whereas the freehand quote basically defies system rules, basically. It's very flexible. So in this case, my customer doesn't have to exist on the system. So I'm just going to put in some basic information. You can also quote on items that don't exist as well. So if I just type it here, so it's popular with clients, especially if they do custom manufacturing or something, the product might not exist yet. Instead of going through all the business process of getting a new item created, they can just type it in. And then you can put in the pricing and the record. So, and what's also nice from here, if you have a preferred vendor for one of these items, so there's something you need to bring in, you can convert this from a sales quote to a purchase quote, purchase order, or purchase invoice. And if the customer wants to go ahead with this quotation, you can convert it into a sales invoice or an order. So because I've selected now, this is a customer that doesn't exist on the system, this screen is basically kind of saying, okay, you need to either create item as a customer or select an existing one. And then same with the stock code. This inventory item doesn't exist. It's now time to create that item. Okay, so that's pretty much on the Palladium demo. There's a lot of functionality I've skipped on there. We've got a workshop module, CRM, vendor reconciliation. So if you do want to find out more about the other features, we do have a YouTube video, but always feel free to contact us as well. I'm just going to swiftly switch over to the mobile app. So just bear with me for 2 seconds. So just log into the database that's connected to my mobile. Now I'm just going to quickly share my mobile screen so you can also see what I'm doing. So there's my mobile device. So the mobile app is only available on Android at the moment. It's in the final stages of testing for iOS. So it is available in the Play Store. You can download it. So there is a free trial period for it as well. So you just search Palladium Accounting if you want to download it. And this is the icon of the Palladium. So I'm just going to log in here. So it uses your email address that you've created in Palladium and then obviously the password. So it doesn't use the username. The first time you log in, it can take about a minute just to download all the inventory and all the customers. Also waiting for that to synchronize. I did see a question. Let me just quickly address that one. I'm sure I saw a question before. Okay, so it's logged in there. So this is all the databases that I have access to. So I'm logging into this Palladium hardware that I have open on the desktop. So the mobile app is a combination of sales functionality and warehouse functionality. So, but obviously based on the user's rights, they'll just see specific icons that are related to their job functions. So it's just syncing a file piece of data. Okay, So as you can see, so you've got the sales quotes, sales orders, we can do freehand quotes on here, there's some warehouse functionality, bin transfers, pick tickets, stock count. So I'm just going to start off with doing a sales quote. So here it gives me all the quotations that I've previously processed. I can't see quotations that other sales reps have done. So I'm just going to press this plus sign up here to create a new one. And select the customer here. And then over here, so I can select the sales rep, I can put in a reference number, I'm going to add in the item. So you'll see here it pulls through all the item images, that's all that you've got loaded in the database. On here, what's key to the salesperson is obviously to be able to see available stock quantities. The price pulls through based on what's linked to the user. Okay, so I've added the one item. I'm now going to select record by clicking the little tick at the top. So it gives me a nice warning to say, okay, the customer hasn't signed it. Do you want them to sign the documents? So we do have a sign to glass function. And then also it does have the ability to email from the app as well. So I'm not going to do it in this case. Okay, and what's really impressive is also the live integration with the main database. So if I now go into here, open up the previous quote, this is the quotation I just did on the mobile app. Today's date is the one just processed, the $3.99. Okay, so just bring up the mobile again. Some of the really nifty functionality on here is the capture POD. I'd say this is probably our biggest wow feature at the moment. So I did touch on it a little bit previously where you can attach the POD to the invoice. So if I open up an invoice on the desktop, here's the icon where you can attach the POD. So you can either manually upload it and scan it, but what a lot of our customers are doing, if they have drivers on the road who are doing deliveries, they can get the customer to sign on the mobile app. So I'm going to work on this invoice number 40. I'm going to capture POD. So at this point, it gives the option to scan the document. So in the practical world, we'll have the driver would have a physical copy and a barcode for the invoice number. So I don't have that, so I'm just going to type it in manually. And you'll see here, it brings through what's on that invoice. So I've got this CT01. And if I go to the second screen here, so that you can either get the customer to sign on here, or you have the option of uploading an image, or you can capture a photo. So just the coffee mug I was doing before, just going to take a photo of that. Press record. You see that saved successfully. So if I now go into Palladium, open up that invoice, you'll see there's a POD attached. And there's the image I took from my book device. It's a pretty smart function. Other functionalities on here, we do have a CRM feature. So your sales reps on the road can log where they've been. So I'm just going to create a new task. I can say, okay, I did a demo today. It was for this customer. I need to send a task. So all these options that are coming up, all these drop downs, is obviously definable. You can put the email address in here, you can put a comment, quote to be sent. You can schedule a timeout, email address, so I'll put that in as well. And then what's also great is if you want, from a management point of view, if you want to track where your users have been, so on here, this is our portal we have, so you can track users' locations. So I've got a few of my salespeople ticked on here. Something like myself, refresh. So it tracks the movement. This is a live tracking, so you can do a tracking history where you specify the date. Also, we have like a live tracking. So this is where I am at the moment, so I'm Palladium Accounting. Okay. Just go back in, I'll show you on here. I'm going to show you the stock count feature as well. So it has an option for count 1 and count 2. So I come into this screen here. This will display all of your bin locations. So in my company, I've only got the one default bin. So at this point, if you can picture your staff member walking around the warehouse, what other clients have done, they've barcoded their shelves, their bin locations. So here they can just scan the bin they're standing in front of. We'll then open this screen and say, okay, you're at the default bin, and then here's where you scan the product codes. So I'm going to add it manually. Put the quantity. One. Save. And then the bin goes green, so it just shows the user, okay, you've already counted that bin. So once you've counted everything, you press this little tick, and it says save successfully. So just the important thing to bear in mind on that part is it's the only feature on the mobile app that doesn't update Palladium, because usually someone wants to check the variances before it affects your stock. So what it does is, in my stock count feature, here there's an option to download mobile stock count. So here's the stock count that I just processed on the mobile feature, on the mobile app. So it creates an Excel file that's ready to be imported. It doesn't affect your stock until you're happy with the variance that's going to be caused from that. Okay, so you might want to send one out for a second count. Okay, so I think that's all I'm going to show for the mobile app for now. We do have a lot of videos on it, and you can see there's a lot more features on it, but just give you an idea and look and feel of how it works. All right. So I'm just going to hand you over to Tasmin now to show you a little bit on the Magento integration. So just give us a minute or so just to switch computers and so forth. Thanks.
Hello everyone, my name is Tasmin and I'll be discussing the Palladium Magento Webstore integration with you today. The Magento Webstore integrates directly with the Palladium Premium version that Adam went through with you. Palladium e-commerce is a Webstore integration between Magento and Palladium Accounting. You're able to integrate your Palladium Accounting database directly with your Magento e-commerce platform. You can set up a Magento or a WooCommerce online store that will sync with your Palladium Accounting, allowing you to run an online store while using your ERP solution to manage your inventory, customers, and pricing. Greatly reducing maintenance time, eliminating online store restocking, and improving reporting. There is no geographic restrictions to using Palladium e-commerce. It is a global platform. So this page that I'm on is the setup page, which consists of your site setup, your store details, and your web store design. This will take you not even 5 minutes to set up your web store. You'll then receive an email once you've done all of these steps. It will send through all your login details as well as your site link. Once all of this is set up, it will then allow you to sync your products, your customers, your customer prices, as well as your discount matrix and any other data from your Palladium inventory system straight into your Magento web store. The B2B would apply to the discount matrix where your clients can see their allocated prices that you have given to them. You can also set a scheduled data synchronization where you can set your frequency to minutely, hourly, daily, weekly, or monthly. The frequency determines how often the scheduled import will take place. What I'll do is I'm going to show you a web store example. This is our Palladium hardware store that we have set up just as an example. So you can see this. This looks like any other normal online web store. You have all your different categories, your drop downs, you have your search bar where you can search for your items. What I'll do is I'll show you an image and how it integrates directly with your Palladium Live database. So I'm going to choose this chrome plated towel rack. Okay, so as you can see here, you have a nice clear image of the item. You have your description, your stock shows that there's, it's available, it shows you your SKU, your pricing. And what's nice is this add to cart function. Once your client checks out their shopping cart, a sales order is automatically generated and loaded in the Palladium Live system. What I'll do is I'll show you this image in the back of Palladium in the inventory master file. Okay, so I'm going to go to the inventory master file on Palladium Premium. Okay, so the item that we viewed in the web store was the chrome-plated towel rack. Yeah. Okay, so as you can see, we have the same image, nice and clear. We can also remove it. We can add multiple images if we want. You can also see here's the description, the SKU, and this is where you can set up all your different categories, your subcategories, and your groups. If you would like a further detailed demonstration on the Magento web store, you can also send us an email and we can set up to go through it with you. Thank you so much for your time. I'm going to hand you over to Adam.
Okay, so this, Natasha, thank you for your questions, and Godfrey, I'll answer your QuickBooks question now. Just quickly, just to talk about some of the features that are upcoming. One is just in the final stage of testing is our ZRA tax authority fiscalization. And we're also working on another big project working on is the ability to have multiple units of measure. So at the moment on Blade, you can just have one unit of measure per item. So we have clients who, the one client that comes to mind is they manufacture animal feed, but they produce it in different bag sizes. So instead of having multiple item codes, they'll be able to specify the bag size, basically have a different selling price per bag size. And then probably our most eagerly awaited new development is the Sage evolution conversion. So we're expecting this development to be complete. I know Donovan alluded to it maybe in the next 4 weeks, so it should go into QC in the next week or two, and then hopefully to market in the next 4 to 6 weeks, I'd say. We're also working on supplier volume rebates. Another exciting development we've done is business alerts. So basically you can define and set up triggers in the database to send automated notifications. So for example, the most common request is whoever's in charge of stock control is that they want to have an automated notification to say when their stock is running low. Other clients will do it where they send an automated report to their sales reps to see how much sales they've done, are they on target for the month. So basically anything that happens in the database, we can set up a business alert for that. Some clients use it to automate their customer statements at the end of the month. And also we're adding time and attendance to the mobile. Another exciting development is again, it's complete, it's just in QC, and it's the ability to have customer and supplier control accounts per customer, per supplier. Whereas at the moment, you can only specify the one customer control accounts and supplier control accounts on the update space level. But soon we'll be able to do it at customer and supplier level. Okay, and there is a lot of other functionalities, but these are the key ones that are very close to being released. Okay, so I'm going to hand you over to Candice, who's going to talk you through the payroll. Okay, thanks again for your time. I'll get back to your questions now in the chat.
Hi everyone, my name's Candice and I sort of project manage the payroll. Just to take you through a brief overview on the payroll. For more information, we can always go through a detailed demonstration on the Palladium Payroll. So Palladium Payroll is a cloud-based software, mobile friendly, so it's got responsive screens. You can access it on any mobile or smart device. Which really means there's no downloads and updates. All the updates or legislative updates are done globally. We do inform you via newsletter or an email, just informing you of any updates. Okay, so Palladium Payroll is not billed per payslip, but by employees, and it is a multi-company interface. This is our dashboard or more sort of my workspace, which gives you all the regular accessed information sort of in the front screen. So you can view your payroll cycles, which is monthly, weekly, or fortnightly. You can change companies on the screen, add new employees. You can access payslip processing. You can, view all your reports by clicking on the menu. On this particular dashboard. There's also got a calendar with your most important payroll events. We cater for flexible pay cycles, so you can create monthly, fortnightly and weekly. You can also create 2 pay cycles in a monthly pay cycle. So for example, you can have monthly, let's say, warehouse staff, and you can have monthly sales staff. Okay. We cater for the statutory submission reports, so that's your biannual EMP 501s or your year-end EMP 501s, also your OIDs, and then it integrates or imports into your SARS easy file. We ship with predefined SARS transactions, which is your normal SARS transactions. Okay, and then we have an employee self-service portal, which is included in the price. So there's no extra cost for your ESS module. Therefore, you can email payslips to your employees and they can access it via their smartphones. You would create a user or for each employee and they would log in. Also for leave, if they want to apply for leave, the approval process can be done by their manager and they'll get notification on once they log in via their smartphones. You cater for multiple tax methods, as you can see on the screen there. So, well, most common would be your statutory, SARS statutory tables, which is your average tax methods. Okay, and then we cater for leave capturing, which can either be done in bulk processing or on an individual payslip. This is the bulk capturing, so you can capture and then save your bulk import and open the batch to make any changes, edit, and then once confirmation or once you confirm, you may then upload or update to the batch. Okay, centralized employee information. This is basically your employee master file where you would then capture all the employee information, which is your address details, a picture of your employee, the tax methods, just giving you a few menus, the payment information, set up the employee self-service email, passwords and addresses, their leave information, any loans or garnishes or savings that they may have. You'll see at the bottom we've got employee documents where you can drag and drop, for example, job specifications, letter of appointments, any possible warning letters or any other documents. So this is basically a filing cabinet for your employees. We have the employee loan management. So here you can cater for multiple loans, and this is on a recurring or reducing balance reducing balance. So once the loan is then paid up, that balance will go to zero. Okay, we also have the bank export file. We cater for the 4 major banks, which is, and you'll see there just in the example on the screen, this is the F&B ACB file. So you would then export this file and import it into your F&B online banking. You can import templates. So we've given you access to certain fields that you can map and import. For example, if you want to import master files or any leaf information, you can map those fields and then import the file. Okay, on the Payslip processing screen, we're giving you all the information in one screen, so you can capture your basic salary. You can add income and you can delete income. You can mark the income as a recurring, so every month it would be the same amount. Or, for example, if it's a bonus and it's just once off, you don't have to, you don't tick the recurring. So next month when you're processing, the bonus would disappear off the Payslip. And that will happen on all the tabs. So income deduction, company contribution. You also have a year-to-date tab, which gives you your year-to-date per month on what was processed for this particular employee. For a more in-depth demo on the Palladium Payroll, you can contact me or you can email sales@Palladium to schedule a demo. We've also got a trial period on Palladium, on the Palladium website, palladium.co.za. It's a 30-day trial. Thank you.
Good. So I think the next step will be for us to just briefly go through realistically what's in it for our business partners, because at the end of the day, it's a partnership that we're forming, which needs to be mutually beneficial. So we're just going to run through that very briefly, and then we'll go through the Acumatica opportunity as well. So as part of the business partner program, you obviously, as we've shown you, you have the ability to offer your clients a comprehensive and affordable product that's locally developed and developed with their business needs in mind. So that's, we really feel that it's something that will complement your current product offering. The key difference between our partner program and our competitors is that we have fixed rebates. We do not have a tiered partner program, meaning that whether you have one customer you're selling to or 10 customers you're selling to, you'll have the exact same rebate structure as every single one of our partners. Because everyone's different, and we don't want to impose any targets on our business partners. So as part of the program, we also have access, our business partners also have access to free online training. We've got a specialized module in our Palladium University, which is focused on business partners becoming certified. We don't impose any exclusivity clause, meaning you can sell whatever it is you sell already without any challenges. Over and above that, obviously the the development directly for your clients. So if there are specific features and functionality required, we're happy to get involved and do that development for you. Some of the benefits of partnering with us is that we obviously have a very tiered pricing structure. So dependent on the user amounts, obviously the cost associated to the software would reduce or increase, well, not increase, reduce, yeah. As part of partnering with us as a partner, you would receive 5 in-house premium licenses, which is our flagship version of the software. That is the version that Adam was demonstrating to you earlier. You'll receive 10 in-house payroll employees that you can use. And our partners also have unlimited access to our call center, where we have a full team of consultants who are able to assist telephonically and remotely via TeamViewer or AnyDesk or whatever it may be. In the event that you require assistance on site, we are able to do that from both a sales and technical perspective. So we're happy to get involved and demonstrate to your customers, assist with any challenging questions they may have, and ultimately assist with an implementation on site. Because as I said earlier, it really is a business partnership that we're forming. We don't look at our partners as just another reseller. We really want to add value to your business, because if you're bringing in a lot of business, it's not only beneficial to you, but to us as well. Just to run through the certified partner structure and how it works. So obviously in South Africa, we have a once-off sign-up fee of 2,500 Rand. Keeping in mind that includes all your licensing, and the software that you receive as part of the business partner program is worth roughly about 45,000 Rand at the moment. If you're in outside of Africa, you're looking at $200 as a once-off sign-up. There's not generally a renewal fee on that partnership agreement. It's purely based on the level of deals that have come in. So if you have between 0 and 2 annual sales, whether it's 1 user or 50 users, it's irrelevant. There will be either 1,000 Rand or $80 annual renewal. If there's any more than that, that renewal fee doesn't exist. You don't have any annual renewal fees with us. If we look at the rebate structure, on any outright purchases, we're looking at 40% rebates directly to our business partners. Okay. If there's any referred purchases, it would be a 10% rebate. And if we're looking at our maintenance fees, which are either annually or monthly subscriptions, you're getting 35% of those on a recurring basis. So as long as the customer is a Palladium client, you will receive that rebate indefinitely. Exactly the same applies to our software rentals. You're getting a 35% rebate on that, as well as a 20% discount on any SQL licensing. Keeping in mind that it's not entirely necessary to purchase SQL, because we do have the option to host those databases, which negates the need for that cost altogether, which is one of our great benefits. In terms of the pricing structure for your clients, we do not charge annual licensing fees, which is a very big differentiator between us and a lot of our competitors. You have the ability to rent the software on a monthly or quarterly or annual rental basis. Okay, that rental includes all your software support and upgrades within the edition that you're on. So as we release updates, they'll be released to those clients at no charge as part of their rental agreement. If they purchase the software outright, there's a once-off purchase fee with a mandatory support agreement for the very first year only. So the reason that's in place is because they will more than likely require assistance during that initial period. But after that first year, it is 100% optional. They can decide whether they want to stay on that support agreement or not. Keeping in mind the support agreement includes all the upgrades at no fee, as well as their remote support. So it's a very, very straightforward structure and very cost-effective structure. As part of partnering with us, we would supply all our marketing material to our business partners as well, which includes all the different templates that they can, which are effectively white label templates that you can add your own company information to. We have a very good marketing schedule, and we generate a lot of internal leads, which we try our utmost best not to sell directly to an end user. So in most cases, they would be pre-qualified by our sales team and then passed on to a business partner within the region. Okay. Over and above that, we run promotions, such as one that we've got running at the moment, where any new client that signs up before the end of the year would effectively receive any subscription-based fee would be price locked for a period of 3 years, which is a fantastic way to start with the new software. And for existing customers, one of the promotions that we've been running now is that any upgrades to a newer version or a different edition, so whether they're moving from business to enterprise or from enterprise to premium, would be discounted by 50% up until the 31st of December. So we're constantly running little initiatives like that to not only get our customers excited, but also drive revenue through our business partners, which we found to be very, very effective up to date. So again, thank you for your time. The sales team will be in contact within the next couple of days, and if you have any questions in the meantime, feel free to contact us and we'll go into a little bit more detail. But for now, I'm going to pass you over to Lindy, who will discuss the Ecumenica opportunity.
Thank you very much, Donovan. Yes, for everyone who didn't catch that, my name is Lindy, and yeah, thank you for the opportunity to include Ecumenica. Anyone following the Palladium team has a really tough job because they're very passionate, articulate about Palladium, and have some cool offerings. So from an Ecumenica perspective, we're not here to take the spotlight away from Palladium, but to highlight another product offering and earning potential as a potential BP. So if you look here, this is what I'm going to be covering today. I have a very short slot, so I've got 5 minutes to excite everybody. I'll go into a bit of Ecumenica and Palladium's history, why Ecumenica, talk a bit about the referral program, and as Donovan mentioned, the contact details will be shared and here to answer any questions. Oh, sorry, back one. We're going too quickly. Sorry, everybody. Ecumenica is an ERP system. It's fully cloud-based, and it's the most adaptable business management solution for small to mid-market companies. It's recognized as one of the fastest growing ERPs globally. Two standout things for me from an Ecumenica point of view is how they do their licensing. So it's not a user-based model, although they do cater for that, but it is a consumption-based model. So you'll have unlimited users. It allows you to scale your business, and it's managed on transactions, what we call commercial transactions on a monthly basis. Very good point from an Ecumenica perspective is they are very competitively priced. So you have for South Africa, ZAR-based pricing, and for Africa, US dollar pricing. So within our territory, it removes the rand dollar fluctuation against our bigger competitors. Ecumenica, it is modular and ships by industry editions. But you are able to add and take away as and when your business requires it. So a little bit about Ecumenica and Palladium. We're the longest standing business partner for Ecumenica in Africa. We've been a partner since days in 2012. We have customers in South Africa, Europe, and the USA. What I'd like to highlight is that we have a dedicated team within Palladium Business Solutions that manages your pre-sales, implementation, and post-sales. And what I've made in bold here is Ecumenica, we are gold certified partner, and again since 2012. They have a very stringent certification process. It has to be done annually. You have to have unique certifications right from sales, technical per edition, business owner. So a real stringent process, and they don't just sign up everybody. Okay, you can move on for me. Just covering a bit more about Ecumenica's value proposition. When we talk about connected business, Ecumenica's connected business in the cloud expands your system's capabilities by integrating with other essential platforms and allows you to rapidly integrate. I think remote collaboration is very important. They're born in the cloud-based technology, will allow you to work from anywhere, anytime, and from any of your devices, including mobile. I think business resilience is an important point, especially as COVID-19 has shown us. If you have unforeseeable forces present, you need an ERP solution that's going to empower your business to be resilient through remote and connected business operations. I think future-proof is an important element of Acumatica because we want to protect your investment in your customer's business by ensuring their business is running on a platform that is built for adaptability and for unforeseeable circumstances. So how does the Acumatica Partner Referral Program work? So if you've got a customer who's interested in a cloud-based solution and Palladium maybe doesn't meet all the criteria, you have an option to participate in the Acumatica Partner Referral Program. So it provides you as a non-certified party a formal way and a lucrative option for your customers when selecting an ERP solution to run their business. It works only on the subscription model, and Donovan was talking about that earlier. So this doesn't qualify if your customer buys it outright. So just in a nutshell, you would refer your customer to us. We would work with you to close the prospect. And once closed, Palladium will reward you, the referring party, anything from a minimum of 5% up to 20% of the Acumatica subscription upon deal close and receipt of payment. So the steps I think I've covered, but just to recap, you would submit a prospect lead. We've either got a referral lead form or you can do it via email. We'll qualify the lead. We'll manage the opportunity as mentioned with you until deal close. We will deliver the solution and invoice the prospect, and then the referral reward is passed on to you. So it allows you to remain focused with your core business, but still have earning potential. Nearly done. So just to recap what's in it for you. So definitely we hope to save you time and money when you're investigating ERP solutions and contacting vendors on behalf of your clients. Earn a minimum of 5% and up to a maximum of 20% just for referring a deal. As this renewal happens annually, you continue to receive the 5%, so it's evergreen unless the customer cancels. And it allows you another way to keep in contact with your clients. Reduce your sales, my last point, and implementation commitments. Again, you earn from day one. Then just the last point is to say thank you once again. A lot of information crammed into a short space of time. So all our contact details from an Acumatica perspective will be shared with you, but we've got telephone, email, myself and the team. Thank you very much.
That's it. So thank you once again for everyone taking the time to join. And I see that the chat has been exceptionally active with a lot of questions, which is great to see. I see Adam could barely type fast enough there. So I think we've got a little bit of time if there are any other questions. I think if you're just able to unmute yourself and ask them, and we'll do our best to answer them if there are any further questions. Okay, so just to close off, we will be sending out a follow-up email after this webinar, which will include a link to the recording, as well as the presentation and some of the information related to our business partner program, which would include the application forms and our price list, etc. So if there's any questions straight away thereafter, you're welcome to respond directly to that mail address. Alternatively, one of our sales consultants will be in touch with you very soon. Thank you very much.